U.S. President Joe Biden has signed the Promoting a Resolution to the Tibet-China Dispute Act earlier today. The act, also called the Resolve Tibet Act, mandates that Tibet's issues must be resolved in accordance with international law. It also states that the resolution should come through peaceful means and dialogue and without any preconditions. Ven Khenpo Sonam Tenfel, a member of the Tibetan parliament in exile, also thanked President Joe Biden and the White House for the signing of the Resolve Tibet Act. Just last month, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the Resolve Tibet Act in June. The act aims to build pressure on China to resume dialogue with Tibetan leaders. The dialogue, which has been stalled since 2010, sought to arrive on a conclusion regarding Tibet's future. After the passing of the act, a group of 7 U.S. lawmakers visited India's Dharamshala to meet the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama. The visit came as a show of support for the Tibetan cause. The visit drew strong criticism from Beijing, who have categorized the Dalai Lama as a separatist. During this meeting too, China urged Washington to recognize the Dalai Lama's anti-China approach and avoid contact with the leader. What is the Resolve Tibet Act? The Act supersedes 2 previous acts, namely Tibetan Policy Act or TPA of 2002 and the Tibetan Policy and Support Act or the TPSA of 2020. The recent act aims at authorizing the use of funds to counter Chinese disinformation about Tibet. This includes disinformation about the history of Tibet, the Tibetan people, and Tibetan institutions, including that of the Dalai Lama. The act also challenges the Chinese contention that Tibet has been a part of China since ancient times. The act also urges China to sign 2 things, which are the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. It comes as recognition of Tibetan people to self-determination and human rights. Finally, it also amends the 2002 TPA to define the exact geographical areas which are part of the Tibetan Autonomous Region. In fact, China also passed laws of the cause of, quote, Taiwan independence. The law addressed punishing the opinions that, quote, incited the splitting of China by taking up the Tibetan cause under the cessationist law of the People's Republic of China. The law stated that there is only one China and Taiwan is part of the Chinese territory. The acts that Beijing made punishable under its criminal law included initiating the Taiwan independence, attempting to change the legal status of Taiwan as part of China, an attempt to create 2 Chinas, falsifying the fact that Taiwan is a part of China, amongst other things like organizing separatist events and also dialogues.